Oh. Oh, live.
It's live. So now the beginning of it will be everyone asking, is it live?
Well, we're live. Hello, world. Hello, the internet. This is the Nordic Fablabs June meeting. And we have 4 present at the moment. Hoping for a few more people to come in a few minutes. So, yeah. Hello, guys. So we're in Aalto Fablab in Helsinki. We'll just go around and say who's here. So, Charlie, I'm chairing the meeting today, and we've got.
I'm Cindy.
Cindy's here as well. Who are you guys? What are you doing here?
Yeah, I'm Thoran from Ísafjörður in Iceland.
And I'm Zana from Fabriken, sort of, or Lundsättna Verkstad, or Fablab in Malmö and Lund, Sweden.
From many labs.
Many labs, but none are like fully developed. But yeah.
So, well, okay. I'm looking at Facebook, and Pilia from Bergen is trying to join. I think she's having a bit of trouble. So let's see if we can get her to join. In the meantime, Dorin, do you want to give us an update of what's been going on in the lab in Ísafjörður, what's coming up for the summer?
Yeah, sure. So we're kind of, the school program is now pretty much done. The elementary school is gone on holiday, and the high school as well. So we're putting down those sales for the moment. In the summertime, we aren't able to have that much programs going on, so we're pretty much closed in July. But we will be back up running in August. We might actually have one project that is going on, because it was donated to us, this old robotic arm. So we are having a team of graduate students from the technician school of Reykjavik coming over, and they've already begun work on how to transform this old robotic arm into something usable. So they're going to be modifying the interface for it. And otherwise, you know, we're also setting up like possible interns that are coming next fall. And then there's like just a bunch of smaller indoor tasks, like sweeping the floor, that, you know, we are taking care of.
It's necessary work.
Yeah, necessarily work that you always put on the back of the list. I don't need to sweep, I'll sweep tomorrow. So I'll hang up the shelf just next day. I need to do this before that, you know.
Sure.
So yeah.
So the robot you were mentioning, is there any particular application at the moment in mind, or are you going to?
We are looking towards what they're doing in Norway, in Fablabs. We are interested in using it as a tool, as a CNC tool. So like a just 6-axis milling machine. But we are also interested in using it to, you know, teach the students how to work with robotic arms. But it's quite big. It's like as a radius reach of 3 meters, I believe. So yeah, and that's another problem we are finding out how to solve, is actually just where to store it permanently. So right now it's in a metal workshop, and that works well in the summer because it's not in use. But for the rest of the time we need another location.
Okay. How big is the robot?
It's big. It's bigger than me.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's like, yeah, the reach of it is like 3 meters.
Oh, nice.
I might be confusing the diameter or the radius, but yeah, it can reach out really far.
Great.
We have photos of it on our Flickr page.
Yeah, I really think Jens in Norway would have some good pointers for you because they got their old industrial robot to work.
Yeah, Jens has sent me material and I've looked at that. That has been very helpful. And if you know that robot, it's the size of it is pretty much the same. And they also had this problem because it's run by a floppy drive, and our is as well. But the team that is in Reykjavik now, they are really thinking how to change that.
See if USB can be
Yeah,
applied.
yeah. We're gonna swap out the floppy drive for USB.
Great, thank you. Zenna, how's things with you? What's new?
Well, I was just accepted into the board of Lunds Öppna, which is the workshop in Lund.
Nice, congratulations.
And we just bought, or we're just about to buy a laser cutter, which they don't have. So, which is going to be great. I'll be the first laser cutter in Lund. That's not like university. And we got it for super cheap. I'm really happy about that. Now we're just looking to install it, but it should work out. Other than that, we're looking at we're making an application for starting a mobile makerspace as well. So that we can move around into like shopping malls and that kind of stuff as well. We're pretty much going to be closed down during the summer though, and there's not much happening. Yeah, and then opening back in the fall.
Yeah, I think it's quite similar with many of the Nordic labs. I think July is basically going to be holiday. So, yeah, but great. So Lund is moving up.
Yeah.
I'm just looking into the Q&A section here on the Hangouts. We've got Jussi in Tampere asking if we can see him. Jussi, we can't see you at the moment.
What I think is people are misunderstanding, and I was just putting this on the Facebook group, is people are pressing the play button.
Yeah.
The play button means that you are only viewing, and you can like put in comments, but there's also below in the left bottom corner, there's like a start button, a blue start button. And you should press that to join us, with video and audio and everything. If you're viewing, then I suppose you can hear this.
Also, I'm sending out invites directly to people's Gmail enabled addresses. So inbox us with your Gmail addresses and we can add you into the conversation. So you see, if you jump onto Facebook and mail me your Gmail address or the address you use for Hangouts, I can add you in. And Filia, I've just sent you a new invite. Hopefully this one works. So hopefully you can join this one. So I think I should also update on what's been happening here at Aalto Fablab. So last week was super hectic for me. I finally managed to cobble together a final project for Fab Academy and presented on Friday with about 5 minutes to go before my time slot. And Cindy helped me out to get things in place ready for that. So yeah, it all came together. So a little bit more to do on Fab Academy before the final deadline on 8th of July. we also had a really nice workshop with Paul Sohi from Autodesk that I mentioned at the last meeting. That was super good. We got some helpful tips with Fusion 360 and set up all of our Roland mills to work with Fusion. And now we're using one tool for all of our milling machines. We can also use it for laser cutting and 3D printing. So if you haven't tried out Fusion 360 in much detail yet, give that a shot. It's been very useful for me. Probably done 50 projects with it in the last month, including my Fab Academy final project. You can do some really nice rendering in there as well, so it really does everything. And then coming up, we're also it's almost midsummer, so in Finland that's a really big thing. I think for pretty much everyone else in the Nordics, it's also a big thing. So after this week, we're closing for the summer, and I've got some slightly sad news that I don't have a contract to work here next year. So at the end of July, my contract ends. So right now, I don't really know the future of Aalto Fablab. So yeah, I thought I should say it at the beginning of the meeting rather than at the end, so we don't leave on a sad note. So I'm not sure what I'll be doing, but hopefully staying involved in the maker movement in some capacity. Not sure where, not sure how. But
is it decided that it's going to be closing down, or is it decided that you're not going to get?
It's
decided that you're not going to get a continued contract.
So it's decided that my contract doesn't continue. I think there will be eventually another position open for someone to come in and run the lab, but I don't know when that's going to be opened. The lab should continue, so they're keeping it here, but there won't be anyone to run it, at least for a month or two. So let's see what happens with that.
Good
luck. Thank you very much. So I don't know if we've managed to get Jussi or Pilja online. I know Pilja had some questions for us that would have been really interesting to hear from her. So
also on that note,
yeah, go ahead.
Closing labs. This is the last month for my lab, the one I was running. So we're just clearing away everything now, emptying everything. So just thought I'd let people know too.
Is it merging with this new lab that you're setting up, or what's?
So the process was 1 month before we opened, Lund University told us we were going to close down. So ever since then, we just still had the locality, so we kept pushing. But then my boss got fired with like 2 days notice, and things got pretty crazy, and it started falling apart completely. So we thought we were going to be on for another half a year at least, and then hopefully find contacts to keep going. But yeah, now we closed down, and we're starting a new company, and it's probably through that company I'll be making the funding applications. Yeah, for Fablab, Nordic Fab movement.
All right. So for me, where my geography of the Nordics isn't fantastic, whereabouts is Lund?
So Lund is right next to Malmö, and Malmö is Sweden's 3rd biggest city, which is the same size as Iceland in population. And it's right, there's a bridge from Malmö to Copenhagen.
Yeah.
So that's close.
Lund University, not Lund University, or
Yeah, it was Lund University. Yeah.
Jumping back to the Q&A again, you see, no, you're still not in. Sorry. You need to let us know your Gmail address or the address you use for Google Hangouts. Send it by email to me or Facebook Messenger, and I can add you into the conversation.
So is there not a possibility just to press the link on Facebook, the event?
When you press the link, you view the stream.
Okay, so you cannot. So maybe this like blue button that I was talking about doesn't appear, or.
Okay. I think I see UC's email address now, so let's add UC in. Yes. Okay. Great. UC, we've just sent you an invite, so hopefully you should be able to join in just a moment. All right. So if I jump back to the agenda again, if UC can join us in a moment, we'll catch up with him because he's, I believe their lab should be almost ready to open now in Tampere. So it'd be good to hear from UC. But we'll have a quick recap of European Maker Week. We were all there, so we all know what was happening. But I think it was very successful using this platform, Hangouts on Air, to host the event because not only do we make it available for the public to easily connect, but the videos are then automatically uploaded to YouTube. So the documentation is already taken care of, and those that don't join can watch later. So that's a nice thing. I think our open meeting was pretty good. We had 4 or 5 labs in the end represented. Some good discussion. We've got even less this time so far, but hopefully as more people can join in, then we can keep the discussion going. The Making Living Sharing documentary screening by Jens and the Q&A afterwards, I thought that was really good. I think we had some great comments and discussion afterwards. So I think that was a great success. Then, how did your event go that you ran? Do you want to talk a bit about that? What came out of that?
It started really. I couldn't be there for the full event because I had another event I was organizing in Lund, so I was running between the 2 different labs. But my section went really well. It started out with not too many people, but a lot of people dropped in, and there was great, interesting conversations afterwards. I could possibly share the PowerPoint, but it wouldn't make much sense because it's mostly like just tagline words and then me talking. So, anyways, but it was really good. It was more about the whole what the implications of the maker movement could have on the society. So democratizing society and open sourcing knowledge and what that could mean as a whole. But yeah, it went really well. And there was actually, I think, I forgot his name, but a guy was there from Irish Fablab. I think it was Dublin.
Okay.
And it was just coincidental that it happened at the same time. But he was there too. So that was really fun.
Great stuff.
Yeah.
So in the end, we didn't have the closing meeting on the Friday because I think actually people couldn't make it in the end. Still looking at the Q&A. Anders, I've sent an invite to you, and Jussi, you should be getting these invites through if you go to hangouts.google.com. I'll keep sending invites, but it should call you like a hangout. So keep trying. We'll try and get you on conversation. Hangouts.
Yeah, it would be great to figure that out. I've just sent a link also to the Facebook page. Yay!
Yeah,
Great
great.
to see you. Maybe you can tell us how you got in, so other people can maybe follow.
I got just got a thing on Facebook from you with the Google's Hangouts link.
Ah, okay. So for you, Charlie, when you invite people, you can also share a link. So you can both invite from an email address, but you can also share a link. And I shared that link, and that seems to work.
Okay. So Jussi and Anders head to Facebook.
Yes.
Did you send that directly, or is that posted on the page?
It's posted on the page. I'll just post it also.
Yes, you just went. Yeah.
This is great. We've got Jussi as well. Fantastic. One more, and we'll get Anders in as well, and then we'll be happy. So great. Vilja, do you want to let us know how's it going with you? How did your European Maker Week events go?
That was wonderful. We had a Saturday night meetup with beer, and we got to tour the potential place where we're going to have our makerspace when it happens. It's right next door to the Science Museum, and we had a lot of people come to give demonstrations of what they had been doing, and brought their toys and their furniture and their things that move, and we had a wonderful time. It was a big success, and what we asked them to do in return was to give us feedback on our equipment list, which was the Fablab equipment list, and what do we have to get first. So we got all that, ranked it out, and then we're having a sanity check on what we asked for first now, and we're going to have a meeting Wednesday night with beer so that we can get our act together and ask for it by Friday.
Fantastic. Good to hear. So you're kitting your stuff out. You're kitting your lab out this week.
We are. Yeah, we aren't getting actual equipment. We're getting our list this week. But we're really making good progress, and I figured July will stop because, as you said, somebody said, it's vacation time. So probably in August we can start up again being serious.
Sure. And Vilja, you had some good questions for all of us in general. Perhaps I'll add that into the agenda, and we'll come back to that in a little bit, and you can your question, open it up to everyone for an answer.
Yeah, thanks.
Great. Jussi, how are you doing in Tampere? We don't have your audio, unfortunately. No. You may have to just allow it through. Yes.
There we go.
Now we've got it.
Now you can hear me.
Yes.
Hi everyone. At last.
Thanks.
Since
the volume is a bit loud.
Okay. Is it better?
Yeah, it's better.
Okay. So since last time, I have been quite busy building up our new lab. It's in the situation that we got our walls ready about 3 weeks ago. So now we are getting machines in and making furniture. So we are having a constant line of visitors, and they are really keen into when we are opening a lab for public.
Right. So, and do you have a date set for that?
Actually, yes. It's the 7th September, which is our beginning of the new school year. So it's the same day.
Jussi, do you have a list of the furniture that you're making, or some images or things like that somewhere?
Actually, only images is now in our Facebook site. So there is something. We are building tables mainly, but maybe some other things too.
Okay, because we're about in the same situation. We're about to move Fablab Reykjavik over summer.
Okay.
And we're right at the question of what are we going to make, what are we going to buy, and stuff like that. So.
Okay, yeah. We are in the fortunate situation that we are in big university, and we are actually taking or renting out 1 hectare of our space. So we are in the possibility to choose old furniture also, and we are taking a laboratory table, not the top of that, but those main frames. So we are only making new tops.
Okay, making new tabletops for the old benches. And, yeah. Okay.
And also because I want every piece of equipment being on wheels there in the lab. Then we are putting wheels on everything also. So I have 100 wheels there in the package, and we are putting them under everything.
Will you be wearing roller skaters as well in the lab?
Yeah. Maybe.
I recommend that. I've got myself a skateboard that I use for speeding up and down the corridor to get my coffee.
Okay.
Skates are a good idea.
Yes, we actually have coffee machine already also here, so the first thing first.
On wheels.
That's actually not on wheels.
Maybe Toren, your coffee stirring machine, if you send the plans over, you have to use that.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So Baz, do you want to give us a bit of a update on what's happening with Reykjavik over the summer, if you're about to move?
Yeah. So basically, we are at the moment Fablab Reykjavik is closed. Most of the Fab Academy class just presented last Friday. So they're now just it's actually basically the last thing that's happening now in Fablab Reykjavik at the current location. We are moving into the secondary school that we're in cooperation with. So we're moving into FPM. They already started like breaking down walls and things like that. They're at the moment putting the new walls up. I'll give you a little bit of a sneak preview of. It's only like this. There used to be 3 classrooms down the front here, and this space here was a hallway with locker space. So there used to be a hallway going right through here. At the moment, all these walls are all out. There was an old entrance and just using it as an emergency exit right here. That's going to be the main entrance for Fablab. For outside entrance, and there's going to be emergency doors here and emergency doors here. These ones will also double as the main entrance for the school into Fablab. We've got a bit of a classroom area going on here. Then this here is space for the laser cutters, which is closed and slightly under pressure, so we don't get the smells from everywhere. Yeah, we won't get the smell. Laser cut smell all through the Fablab. Let's see, we have, this is basically this was the same area as the old classroom, but that's now going to be entirely a showbot area, which is like really tripling the space I have for my showbot, so yay. Then we have a meeting space right here with like a glass wall, and we have yeah, I mean, a reception desk with workspaces around here, and yeah, electronics and the rest sprinkled throughout. So yeah.
Great stuff. Baz, you're very good at presenting those pictures on the camera. You could be a weatherman.
So and there.
It's very good. Like,
to...
whenever I try and do it, I completely miss the camera and my hand's moving in like mirror image direction, so it gets confusing.
Well, I mean, it helps, of course, because I mean, you've got the little yourself showing here, so I'm just basically looking at that. I'm not looking at you guys. I'm just looking at that point there, seeing where my hands go and stuff like that. But yeah, I've had some practice over the last few days.
Good stuff. Thanks, Baz.
Yep.
Anders, you're finally in. Welcome. Would you like to say hello?
Thanks.
And let us know what's going on with you?
Hello, everyone. I'm Anders, if you haven't met me. I'm here in Shanghai, Fablab, the local mentor this year. Yeah, so we're busy finishing off Fab Academy, doing the final projects and presenting on Wednesday. Hopefully everything will be done by then. Other things we're doing at the lab is we're making short courses, also in kind of Fab Academy style, or it's the Fab Academy X. We're kind of trying to figure out how to make that. So at the moment it's kind of a 3 weeks course, basically teaching the foundation of fabricating. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm busy with.
Great, thanks for joining, and good to have you here.
Good to be here.
Yes. Oh, have we also got Yanni just joining in Oulu? Can you hear us, Yanni?
Yeah, we have 2 spaces left, I believe.
Nice. Yanni, we can't hear your audio at the moment. Check your microphone. You're unmuted, but check if your microphone is switched on.
I think everyone's trying to
How about now?
star 6.
That's great.
Can you hear me now?
Yep.
Okay, excellent. Yeah, sorry I'm a little bit late. I saw part of the conversation, but I was able to actually join right now.
Okay. Good to have you here.
Thanks. It's been amazingly busy here. We have 5th graders. Last week we have the 14 from 8th grade to the high school. But sorry, what were you talking about?
You can just let us know what's going on in the lab. So, yeah, perfect.
Okay. So those school pupils from 8th grade all the way to the high school, they made robots with like alarm clock robots. One of them is like UFO with alien inside turning around. It runs on the floor and beeps when it's time to wake you up, and flashes LEDs, and one looks like an owl, and it plays Star Wars music when it's time to wake you up. Also runs around. One is like a big shoe waving its toes, and one is a totally beautiful frog. They are absolutely amazing, and those guys did it in 2 weeks. And now we have 5th graders, and they actually are so good with drawing with Tinkercad that I was just, okay, I'm just watching. So a lot of going on. My proposal for city of Oulu to become a Fab city has been given to the city of Oulu today. And let's see if we have time to run this through. But a lot of going on. Really nice.
Great stuff. Anders, are you trying to ask something? I can see a little speech bubble above your head.
I just said it was nice with the.
Yeah. Oh, have we lost Anders?
Frozen.
Frozen. We lost you for a moment there, Anders, but.
All right, am I back?
No. We've got a group chat here. Okay. There's Q&A, there's chat, there's all sorts of stuff going on here. So I think I need a few more eyes and a few more hands to keep on top of all of this. Okay, great. So I think we've all introduced ourselves now. So thanks everyone. We had a quick recap of European Maker Week between the three of us that were here earlier, or on time, sorry. So if anyone else wants to just chip in with an event that they ran during European Maker Week, how did it go? Yanni, I know you had your event on the Thursday. How did that go?
Oh, it went really well. So we had a workshop, design process for all, and we have industrial designer Mikko Pyykkönen who was giving this workshop, and we only had a few labs or people watching it over the internet, but locally there were full lab of people, and we dropped eggs from second floor to the first floor, and the task was get them unbroken, like untouched, and they were raw, so it was really fun. We didn't do, amazingly, we didn't do a bad mess, so all went really well, and everybody had fun.
So you managed to get some eggs to drop from 2 floors and not break?
Yes, exactly.
Okay. Sounds like a good design challenge. A lot of fun. Cool. Great, thanks. So as part of European Maker Week, on the Monday we also held Nordic Fablabs open meeting. So it was hosted on this same platform, Hangouts on Air, to try and make it more accessible for anyone to watch in and see what we're talking about. Now, as part of that, one of the things we were discussing was funding, and Zenna put herself forward to be the project coordinator, the Nordic Fab Labs, with regards to funding applications. So maybe, Zenna, if you'd like to...
If I may just put in that people that are seeing this, it's also good to be aware that these events we're talking about were all recorded. So your workshop, the Autodesk workshop, this Monday meeting and the Wednesday Q&A with Jens, they're all online, so you can watch it whenever. Okay.
Over to Zenna, if you can join.
Yeah. So, as most of you should have heard about now, we are making one application for Handpaint, which is a Danish fund for minimum of 3 different Nordic countries, collaboration projects. So we are obviously 5 different Nordic countries, which is pretty awesome. For this application, I would obviously need everyone to agree that we're joining. For those that haven't, or I've just kind of like missed what it was about, we're making an application on the merge between traditional crafts and digital crafts. So yeah. And that can also be applied to like more culturally traditional crafts, such as like what Håkan likes dealing with, or it can more be like traditional methods and how you merge them. So that's the application we're making. What I would ask from you later on would be to give me any sort of information on a person or a space that we could locally collaborate, put you guys in collaboration with. But I'd be organizing all of that so that each lab has some sort of tie locally to someone that can mix with this whole project. And the nuts and grits haven't been figured out yet, but that's the basic overview of the whole thing. What I've been thinking so far is that I'd be making this application through the nonprofit company that is like a jump off from Lund University. It was basically the same place I worked at that started the old lab, but now we're starting a new lab but we're just leaving the university. But we also work at the project application center. Or not application center, but project coordination center. So
Okay.
yeah.
But it was that as we discussed in the last meeting, or as you put forward, you'd like to be the project coordinator for the funding. So if everyone is happy and in favour of this, I don't think anyone will be against it. But yeah, if everyone just unmutes and says go ahead, why not? Then I think it's all official and final and agreed. So
go ahead.
Go ahead.
Yeah, Lauren?
Agreed.
Agreed. Perfect. And I think we're all agreed. I'm going to write this into the notes. Agreed. So, congratulations and thanks, Senna, for taking this on. So everyone, you'll hear from Senna in the near future and about these funding applications. Yeah, please everyone help out as much as possible, and we'll get this thing off the ground, and it will benefit all of us together, individually and as a network. So this is a good thing. Great. So moving on to a quick update about communications. As I mentioned already, well, as you know, because you're now watching via the medium of Google Hangouts, we now have a Google Plus page and a YouTube channel which are connected. So if we have our meetings here hosted on Google Hangouts on Air, as soon as they're finished, they get processed automatically and uploaded to YouTube. So that's super handy for documenting what we're discussing, and those that can't join live can also check them out later. If anyone wants to be made an admin of that, I think Thorin and Yanni and myself, we're already administrators of the Google Plus page.
If I was just able to use it.
Exactly. It seems there are some nuances, as with any piece of software. You have to know the tricks. Inviting people in, I think we've learned today, use the link instead of direct email addresses. That seems to be better. So
yeah, or you can send the links, in the email addresses.
True.
Or, yeah.
Very good point. A combination of all of these things.
Yeah.
Hopefully that will get people connected. It also means it's visible to the public, so anyone can watch in live and later as well. So yeah, I think the quality of this video conference seems to be very good. So I'm very happy to use this. As I said, if anyone else wants to be given the permission for administrating the page, let me know. I can add you in, and then you can start these calls as you need to. As a side note from that, I think someone has added a logo and a header image. Was it Thorin? Or,
yeah, it was me.
Nice, good work, thank you. It was on my mind that we needed something, not just the default logo. So thank you very much for sorting that out. It looks much more professional now.
And it like you said in the notes to have like Nordic Fablabs logo would be cool, but I'm not a designer, so I'm just putting it out there. Because by default you always use the Fablab logo, but it also, you know, sometimes you want to use something else.
Yeah, so that was in the notes whether we think the Nordic network should have its own logo, its own identity that we can use that differentiates it a little bit from the overall Fablab logos that are used in Fab Academy and so on. So just putting it out there, the idea. If anyone has the anything in mind or wants to sketch out ideas, send them around. The Facebook group is as good a place as any to post ideas.
I'll help out sketching.
Sorry?
I would like to join in sketching designs.
Great. Please do. Probably going to be something with a snowflake, isn't it? Or a snowman. Something cold.
Yeah, I like the snowman idea.
Right. Okay. Well, that's something to think on. But yeah, I think it will be good to use that also on the Facebook page and Google Plus, YouTube, and all of that, so we get some consistency. Okay, moving on. Pilia had a question. She wrote to me by email about this, and I suggested maybe in this meeting is a good chance to get everyone else's opinion on the matter. Pilia, I wonder if you'd like to just fire away with your question.
Okay. So our group that's trying to set up the Makerspace Fab Lab in Bergen is trying to figure out the best business model. And one of the questions is whether it can be all volunteer or whether it can only work if there's at least one person who's got a job there. And so that's the question. In each of your places, is there one person that has a job that keeps it all running, or is it volunteer?
Well, if I would start, I have a lot of people working here actually. So for me, that's the way to do it.
Okay.
Do my business, but makerspaces generally only have volunteers.
Okay, got it. Thanks.
Into the insurance rules, because some places there might be a problem with the insurance if there's equipment around that they won't allow volunteers.
Yeah. Okay.
Certainly with us in a university setting, that's been the case. Right now, there's only one permanent member of staff here.
That was you, yeah.
I would like there to be more people because there's a lot of demand for this space. And yeah, we do have students and volunteers that are here every now and then and help out, which is fantastic. That's what should happen in Fablab.
Yeah.
But we can't rely on them being here regularly. So I think it's, from my opinion, in this setting, it's very useful to have paid staff.
Got it.
There are also, as Yanni was saying, there are makerspaces which aren't necessarily official Fab Labs, but often they are community run and volunteer run. I wonder if anyone has experience with that. Zenna, you're now setting up a lab, so what's your model?
Well, number one, I think it's a Fablab guideline, right, to have the staff on board, like if you're a fully equipped Fablab. But number two, I have a lot of experience working with this kind of thing, and like, kind of my focus has been like how to organize Fablabs to run as smoothly as possible and as uh, with the most engagement as possible.
Mm-hmm.
I've kind of based a model or created a model for this
Mm-hmm.
that I've used, and I've never seen a lab with as many people as engaged as my lab,
Okay.
even though we had no equipment whatsoever. But we had like 50 people in the room each day, pretty much. Uh, so it was very successful like that. But I think I still would recommend having one person that had time enough to engage to be able to set up a community that could then become self-sustainable.
Okay.
That would be my recommendation. We could talk more about that if you want to sometime,
Yeah, sure.
because it's a whole like method of structure. That
Yeah. No, that would be great to talk to you. We can
yeah.
talk another time. I'll set something up with you. Thanks.
Fantastic. Does anyone else have some thoughts on the matter?
Oh, in Iceland we have one employee per lab. The only exception to that is in Reykjavik. But like Senna said, with the engagement, because we have many programs going on, and we have like the elementary schools, the high school, and the university. I see it. I think it's a bit hard to try to keep all these programs running through volunteer work. The makerspaces is more like you say based on a community, and when it's only based on like a community aspect, I think it's easier to do through volunteering.
Mm-hmm.
But you're not gonna have active programs going on in that case.
Gotcha. Okay.
But if you're gonna have a conversation, I would love to join into that as well. So I have
Okay.
high interest in it and also many
Okay.
thoughts.
Okay.
Right. So it sounds like almost a dedicated discussion will
Yeah.
branch off from this.
Yeah.
So please just let us know on the Facebook group when that will be, and anyone that wants to join and discuss further can join that. You can even host it on here if you like. And then
Okay. If I can figure out how. Thank you.
it's easy when you know how.
I could help out with that because I always need to start doing it more.
Okay.
Great. So the last thing on my list before closing the meeting is about Fab 12. And my questions were basically who's going and if anyone's running any workshops, if there wants to be a meeting for those that are going. So if anyone's going, just please chip in, and Cindy's going.
Yay.
I'll be
And
going.
yeah, and usually we do have a Nordic Fablabs meeting at the Fab conference, don't we?
Yep.
Complete with Fabersize, local kind of editions.
Nordic Fab sites, of course.
Actually, that's a good point. We need to get the video from Norway to put up on the YouTube channel. Maybe Jon has that in Norway.
Yeah,
It is on the YouTube channel already. You just look for it. It's on there. The whole thing.
Okay, fantastic. How embarrassing.
Yeah, but maybe it's a great idea to ask Jon if we can put it on the Nordic YouTube site.
Sure. So, Yanni, are you running a workshop in Shenzhen?
No, just a tourist.
Okay. And Cindy, are you going to present your research?
Yes, I'm in the research stream. Actually, the flights are filling up really fast, and I heard that the best way is to go actually to Hong Kong and then take the ferry over. I have this nightmare where I'm flying through Beijing on the way back, and I have to stay overnight in Beijing. And just minutes after I had confirmed that booking, then someone told me, oh, fly to Hong Kong and just go on the ferry. It's half an hour. At least from Helsinki, going Helsinki direct to Hong Kong is much better. So just some advice on the flights, but book quickly because the flights are filling up fast.
Yeah, in 2 weeks they came from 1,200 to 1,800 to Hong Kong.
Yep. To Hong Kong, okay.
Wow. Lauren, are you also going to Fab 12?
I'm not going, no.
Okay. Anders, did you have a question? Sorry.
Yeah, I'm just going to say there's good train connection between Hong Kong and the border. And from the border, you're basically in Shenzhen. So it's quite easy to cross. There's no problem.
I'm sorry, Anders, where did you say you're calling from at the moment?
I'm calling from Shanghai. But if you fly to Hong Kong, there's quite easy to go to Shenzhen. There's train going right up to the border, and then you just walk across.
Right.
And you basically, Shenzhen is just on that side, so it's very easy.
Perfect. Is it in the middle of the night at the moment for you? What time is it?
No, only 7 p.m.
Baz, are you hosting any workshops in Fab 12 or?
No, but I'm participating in the how to say in the general workshop that's going on Make Fablab 2.0. I'm involved in there's an oscilloscope, DIY build your own oscilloscope tract, and I think I'm heading the vinyl cutter.
Did you say oscilloscope?
Yep.
Oh, that's very interesting. I would like to collaborate with that one.
I think there was a whole there was a bit of a discussion about that as well in, I think it passed in Instruct. I'll see if I can find the discussion and forward it to you so you can subscribe to some parts of it if you want to. Because there's oscilloscope, there's function generator, and things like that. So.
I was just yesterday writing those subjects, and I will give them to the electrical department of our university, so the students will make those for us in Fablab. And they will get study credit points in the university, and we get free stuff.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Okay. I still have to book my flight, so yeah, I'm need to make sure that I'm flying to and from the right places. And I was also, I haven't heard anything about the discount that you'd get as an instructor on Fab 12.
Actually, me neither. We need to ask today.
Because I haven't registered yet for the ticket, which I need for my visa. But then again, they said here that visa would take 5 days. So the local embassy said that. So. Yeah.
Okay, good. Yeah, I'm kind of pretending to be an instructor and a student as well at the same time on Fab Academy. So maybe I get 2 lots of half price applied, so I get 25%. Well,
no,
actually,
you'll get Charlie, you're graduating. You'll get the entrance fee for free.
That's true. Sorry. Yeah.
Better discount than an instructor.
Okay. Perhaps maybe you should do a project quickly before you leave and submit it.
Oh sure, I'll just pay $5,000 to actually. Oh wait, maybe not.
Okay. Right. This is fantastic. Those guys that are going, I'm sure you'll do this anyway, but do keep in touch via the social media and Facebook and all that.
If we can access Facebook.
If you're allowed to access Facebook there.
So you should get a VPN before you enter China. You can also get it here, but it's a bit more cumbersome, and you have to have a VPN to access the VPN, so it's a bit more troublesome. I could recommend Astral. Works the best when it works. But I mean, it's up to you. There's so many options out there.
Okay, very useful technical tip. Thanks, Anders. So yeah, good point. But keep in touch and gather together. Yeah, I'm sure that will be a great week. Sounds like it's going to be very busy. Lots of stuff going on. So yeah, I think we're just about closing the meeting. Announcements to make. All I've got written here is that the next Nordic Fablabs meeting will be in 2 months' time, actually, on the 15th of August. That's supposed to be hosted by Halmstad in Sweden. I will get in touch with them directly because I know they haven't been at the meetings recently. So I'll get in touch with them to check that they can host that meeting.
During that 15th, we will still be flying back from Shenzhen.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
So perhaps we should check out those dates a little bit more closely. Maybe the 15th is not a good idea, but we could possibly move it forwards and host the meeting from Shenzhen.
Yeah, that could be an option.
Yeah, we should have a live Fab 12 Nordic Fablab network meeting.
Yeah, so that would then be 1 week before. Presumably. Okay. All right. I will follow that up. Does anyone else have anything they want to mention before we close? Or all right.
I can just, I mean, if you've got some questions about entering China or, you know, anything, just shoot me an email or ask me on Facebook. I can maybe answer your questions.
Perfect. Our man on the ground in China already.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, great to see you all.
Thanks very much for joining, and for those that struggled with connecting, thanks for your persistence. As always with these Fablab things, the tradition is to unmute and just wave and everyone shouts goodbye at the same time. So yeah.
Bye.
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 Bye, guys.